Hello and welcome to a video on surface noise and the NoiseMaker plugin. In this video I want to take a look at how we created the detail for this tree trunk. So let's go ahead and only look at the tree so that you can see the detail that was put into this model. So what I've done is duplicated the tree and all of its upper subdivision levels. So all that I'm left with is my lowest subdivision level. Also, I'd like to take a note that when I go into my UV map and click on Morph UVs, you can see that the UV layout was done by ZBrush's UV master. So let's take a look and see how the detail was put onto our tree. We're going to use our surface noise to do this. So I'm going to click on noise and you'll see a little pop-up window that'll open. Now to navigate through this window, you can either use ZBrush navigation controls or you can use the zoom, the move, and framing button found within the window. The first thing I'm going to want to do is use this alpha on and off button to import an image that I know is tileable for my tree. Let's go ahead and do that. You can see that I've imported an image, which ZBrush shows this little icon of the imported image here in the bottom left corner. Now what I want to do is play with my settings to figure out what works, so we can start playing with some of our strength and scale settings. So I'm going to put this up quite a bit so you can see what's happening to our tree. So I can start playing with our scale, and what you may have noticed is that the noise is just being applied into a 3D mode. I actually want to use our UV layout, so I'm going to switch to that mode and begin playing with the scales that we want. So what you can see here, if I zoom in closer, we're getting a nice representation of tree bark from our image. We can decide to go positive or negative. For this particular image, I think negative works really well. So we'll just adjust our scale a little bit. When we find something that we like, we hit OK. Now ZBrush is not going to apply this to the geometry right away. It's still being viewed, so I can turn noise on and off. Now I want to be able to apply it to our tree. So I know I'm going to need more subdivision levels. So I'm going to subdivide this mesh up to about a million polygons so that we have more geometry there to use. I don't want this bark to be put on the entire tree, because up here I'd like to use the NoiseMaker plugin to create the other part. So what I'm going to do is mask off this section that I don't want the tree bark to affect, so that I can keep this free to add more noise to down the line. So we'll just get a nice little smoothing of a mask along the edge here. And once I have what I want, now all I have to do is hit the apply to mesh button. Let's go ahead and hit that and see what we get. And there you have it. We have now applied the noise itself to our tree. So if I inverse my mask, you can see that up here on the top, there's nothing been done to the top of the tree. So let's go ahead and use our NoiseMaker plugin to put some wood rings on the top of this tree trunk. Now that we got the bark on the side of the tree, let's make the top part of the tree here where it looks like it got cut apart and put some rings on here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off that alpha texture because I don't want that applied to our top. And we're going to use the plugin to make some changes. I'm going to go ahead and click on our noise plugin. You can see there are various types of 3D noises that are generated through this plugin. So I'm going to click on the wood, and with the settings you see here, with a couple tweaks, as you can see, as I tweak here, we get an instant update in our window. So what we have here seems really good. Next thing I'm going to try changing is we have too many of these rings, so let's change our scale and make that more like that 1.6. Click OK. You can see we've got a really good start here. The next thing we want to do is adjust my strength. So I'm going to type in a value here just to push back that strength a little bit. The next thing I want to do is play with my offsets and my angle. So I think where my X offset is in a good place. Let's take a look at my Y offset, and let's set that more into a positive value. So you can see we start getting that ring to come in to the picture. And then let's also adjust our Z offset, and we'll go negative with that. The next thing I want to adjust is our angle. So for X, let's try putting in some negative values. So let's just try putting in a negative X value. Let's put in a positive Y value. Okay, and then we'll put a negative value for our Z. And there you have it. We've got a nice ring going that we can still adjust our scale at any point in time as well, and continue making tweaks using the plugin. Once I have something that I like, I just need to click on the OK button, and you can see that this is instantly being applied as a bump to our tree. And all that's left to do is apply it to the mesh itself. So go ahead and click on Apply to Mesh button, and ZBrush will apply our surface noise only to the top of the tree, because the rest of the tree was masked off. And that's using surface noise and the NoiseMaker plugin to create detail for the tree. Thank you for watching this video, and please continue to watch more on pixelogic.com.